Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Throwback Thursday. I've got Brian here. We've got a property today we're going to talk about on the Near East Side on Market Street. This property was kind of cool because if anyone kind of knows what we do, um, we're a wholesale company, but we do more of a wholesale since we own all the properties that we sell and kind of run our business on a wholesale model after that. But this one kind of goes into that as well. We got this property from someone who was kind of trying to mimic what we do, kind of show them the ropes. So Brian, why don't you start out by kind of explaining how that broke down?
Yeah, this was a pretty cool deal. I like this one just because we worked with one of our investors, somebody that lends us privately. So a private money lender for us, basically just kind of came to us and said, "Hey, I want to learn more about basically your process, what you do, how you do it, and those types of things." So basically, what they did, they went out and they found their own property. They found this property. They ran it past us, let us run our numbers and things like that. And we kind of came to an agreement and said like, hey, we would offer something like this for this property. And he said, okay. And he ended up buying it himself. He took it down and then basically just kind of JV'd with us, handed it over to us at that point. And then we kind of took it from there, helped him with the sale of that property. And then basically when we sold it, it just ended up being a JV split. So I like this deal for a couple different reasons. Number one, this is a typical deal of like you looked at this house, you didn't want to go in it, you didn't want to walk by it even.
I
Like it
was
was,
scared.
yeah, it was a rough house. The person that does like our kind of helps us out with our assessments, changes our locks, things like that. His note was like, "Hey, be careful cleaning this one out because there's a lot of needles in the property." So it was a little crazy that way and stuff like that. But it just goes to show that no matter what the property is and no matter what shape it's in, there's always a chance that an investor is going to need it or want to do it with or do something with it, as long as the price is right. That's really what it comes down to. We've done deals that are super super small. Maybe we're paying like $8,000 for it and selling it for 15. That's fine. The investors getting what they need to. And this one kind of fell in that category where we picked this one up, or the investor actually picked this one up for around like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. And then we basically ended up selling it for somewhere like in the 20s. So it was a pretty good deal. But it was one of those you looked at and you're like, looked at the pictures, looked at the property, and you're like, what are you going to do with this one? Who would ever want this one?
Yeah.
But that's really what it comes down to. But the thing of it is that, like I said, I really like this one because this was somebody that reached out to us. They knew who we are. They kind of know our reputation, and we're just kind of like, hey, I want to learn how to do what you do. Let me be the financial backing for it, but let me just kind of walk through the process and do what you do. So that's really cool. I think it's a really good opportunity for people to understand just some different aspects of real estate and kind of seeing it in all the different parts, all the different ways that you can wholesale, all the different steps in that wholesale process. So same thing too. If you were wholesaler out there, and maybe you're getting leads, you're getting deals. It's a good thing whether it's us. We would love to work with you because that's one of my favorite things is working with wholesalers and JVing with them and partnering them on deals. But even if it's not with us, hook up with like another experienced investor or something, and just kind of go, hey, can you walk through this deal with me and just split the profits at the end or things like that. So that's what happened in this scenario. I think it was a great way. So that's how we acquired it. He basically just came to us and said, hey, let's do something with this. Randy, you can talk a little bit about kind of what the buyer was looking for on the other side and how this worked out for their portfolio.
Yeah, the buyer was actually a newer investor, but like I said, I was going into it. I was worried a little bit because the property was rough, and I don't know if it was just a real gloomy day from when we got the pictures done, but the street just looked really sad. And I was like,
I think I remember telling you like, don't worry, we actually don't have money in this one.
yeah.
But
I was like, oh no, but actually, I think we ended up selling it within a couple weeks. I don't know, 14 days, something like that. But yeah, we had a buyer, they kind of backed out, but they came back. It was kind of a weird story, but they're just kind of getting into investing, and this is a property that they were able to get cheap and still stay within their budget after rehab. But no, I just like the story of this, like you said, as someone coming out to us and reaching out, taking that step, and putting themselves out there, try to learn something new.
yeah, I think
Um,
this is a good example too of kind of like what you were saying. This is one that the buyer was one of their first investment properties. They were kind of having a little cold feet back and forth there, but this is one of the ones that I think you did a great job, and you need to kind of when you are wholesaling on that dispo side of just kind of talking through them, not talking them into anything, but talking them through the process, making sure they understand what's going on, what's really happening with the property, and the
yeah,
benefits, the things they need to look out for, and things like that. So
yeah. Yeah, just highlight all the opportunities there. But no, it was a good deal for everyone around. And if I think not everyone can, take down a property and sell it like we do, but I think if anyone has the chance to, that's the easiest way to do business, in my opinion. I know it is what we do, but I think it's the easiest form of wholesaling a property. I was taking it down and owning it, and just having everything flow easily after that. So
Would you say it was simple?
it was a simple transaction. But yeah, that's awesome, Brian. Appreciate that insight on that deal. We've got one more Thursday to go this month, so tune in next week for our final Throwback Thursday for June.